Good morning, friends. How are you? Look at how beautiful it is. What a beautiful day. You know, the thing about where I'm staying in San Blas is once you go out the door, you know you're going to be getting exercise because there's no way back without some stairs. And I love that. But I was just thinking about something that I decided to share. You know, as a traveler for a long time and in developing nations, whatever we want to call them, those who, have larger economic divides, people with like very serious economic need. Um, when people vend on the side of the streets, I mean, like when they sell things on the side of the streets, there's so many different ways that they can handle that. And you see different kinds of personalities emerge and the decisions that they make on how they are going to attract someone to stop and consider buying from them. And here in Peru, what is very pleasant is that many vendors are very positive in their approach, right? They might be a little bit uncomfortably aggressive, kind of pushing papers at you and that kind of thing. I understand it, but it is annoying. But there's just one elderly lady. Okay, so I've made friends. I've come in contact with and become familiar with a few of the elderly ladies around here who are selling different things because they're in the same places. There's one that I buy tamales from. You can tell she's selling tamales because on the blanket sitting across her lap, there's a couple of corn husks. And that's sort of the visual clue that under that blanket, she's selling these corn tamales wrapped in corn husks. And I know the going price is 2 soles, so which is like around 70 cents or so. So I get my tamales sometimes from her. There's another lady that does this, I think it's called back loom weaving. It's like this little weaving loom that she has on her legs. It's hooked to her foot, and she's actually weaving this thing back and forth and making bracelets and belts and beautiful table runners. And she's extremely friendly. She doesn't ask you for money for taking her picture, but I know that that's appreciated. So I've filmed her I've bought something from her, and then I filmed her a couple times. I bring her little desserts and things, and like offerings, which she's so appreciative of, and which are actually worth more than what I would have offered to pay her for a photograph. And she's eager to share with me like the storylines that are in this weaving. It's just fantastic. There's this one older woman who's like right here in my neighborhood, and I've kind of come to the point of being a little annoyed with her because I've bought from her before, but her technique is consistently, please, just do something. She's asking the same price for what she's selling for these things. They're like little snacks that everyone else is, but her technique is one of, please pity me, please give me and I've sat next to her, I've smiled with her, I've tried to make conversation with her, I bought from her, but it's consistent. And it's just, I don't think that's, I don't think it's a good method. And I would encourage when you travel, especially if it's new for you, to recognize that you don't necessarily want to encourage a poor pitiful me kind of it's the same with panhandling everywhere and in the States. Those feel terrible for me. It's different than when you can see that someone is possibly disabled, they're visibly hungry, whatever that might be. I'm not saying don't follow your heart. Follow your heart if you feel like there's need, but not when someone's guilting you as how they're trying to sell to you or beg money from you. That, I don't think that's good for the human spirit. I don't think it's good for you. I don't think it's good for them. I don't think it's good for the community. So that's my opinion. Here's my next view. Wow. Love it here. Have a great day. I just want to interrupt what I was just saying about that particular part, because I want you to understand that that kind of aggressive sales efforts, they're only happening like in the most concentrated tourist areas here in Cusco. That's quite easily avoided. Okay, so don't misunderstand what I was saying there. Thank you.